And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon. Welcome to today's market reflection. My name is John Hoagland. Thanks for trusting me with your time. Take a deep breath. The day is over. We're going to have a look and see what the markets did today, what that means for tomorrow, and just have a nice little chat. Welcome. As far as the indices, we got a split fill here in the indices. The S&Ps, for all intents and purposes, closed basically right around settlement from Friday. Remember, yesterday was not a settlement day. The NASDAQ closed up about 55 points, about 4.4%, almost 0.5% higher. And the Dow closed down approximately 358 points, down 1%. What is that all about? Well, Goldman Sachs missed earnings, and Goldman Sachs is part of the Dow 30, and that's pretty much what dragged the Dow down today. They missed, and that really kind of put the whammy on the Dow today. The Morgan Stanley, another bank, was actually higher by about 6% today. So bad day at Goldman Sachs, I'm thinking. Microsoft has announced that they're going to be putting out some job cuts this week in their engineering division. VIX maintains price below 20. That's a very low fear factor. Is it too low? Are we starting to get greed in these markets the way we used to? And is the high close? The Feds, the talking Fed this afternoon, Barkin was speaking, and he said that he said, and I quote, "My hope is that we have passed the peak of inflation." That sounds pretty positive, right? To pause rate hikes, he says, inflation must be convincingly back to target. So we're going to make sure inflation is back to 2% before we even pause on rate hikes. May have sent a little bit of chill into the markets today. We have come off the afternoon lows rather significantly, so it's going to be an interesting trading day as always tomorrow. As far as what's going on here, make sure that you hit the lucky like button. Share, comment, questioning, feedback, heckling, and love are always welcome on the market reflection. We are looking forward to tomorrow. We're not going to do a recap. We're going to have Jared Tendler doing a special group coaching session tomorrow about 3:15. There is the link so you can register, so you can join all of us. Jared is going to have a specific topic he's going to discuss, and he's going to leave plenty of time for question and answer. When you do register, you do have the opportunity to send in a question prior to the session tomorrow. We've got a lot of them already. I know Jack is working very hard at kind of aligning many of the same questions and trying to get it so everybody has their question answered. If we don't get to them, he's going to be back again next month. It's going to be every month this year. We're going to have the opportunity to talk to Jared. I'm looking so very forward to that. This afternoon, we've got the Rooster with us. Not a bad day. Good movement. Hope you all took advantage of the opportunities today, as we all do. Alex, hello. George. I was just petting Lacey. She went to go check the window to see if her buddy is home. Vince, good afternoon. Haggle Matters, good afternoon. Bill Phillips, Salt Bones, yo. Backer Sultan couldn't rally today. Reason Hogue wasn't wearing the rally sweater. That's right. I'm wearing the black one. Yeah, maybe I should have worn the other one because I was hoping the market would rally today too. But hope doesn't get us there. We got to trade what we see. We had a good day in Make Hogue money today, Backer Sultan. We actually made money on the long side, made a little bit of money on the short side by the time the session was over. So thank you all for joining me and the good trade ideas. Andy Bleed is with us. Zach is with us. Everyone ended green. Not as green as I'd like, but still green. It reminds me of one of my dad's wisdoms. When the market's going with you, you'll never have enough on. But when the market's going against you, you'll always have too many on. He was a very wise, very funny guy. I've got a couple of his badges right here behind me. Miss you, Pops. So, yeah, we're going to go in and look at the charts here very shortly. Just a reminder of the economic information that we do have tomorrow. Tomorrow and Thursday are going to be really the bigger days of economic information. PPI final demand tomorrow at 7:30 Central, along with retail sales. I'm thinking retail sales is probably going to be the more impactful of those. We have Bostic speaking tomorrow at 8 a.m. Central, industrial production 8:15. James Bullard speaking at 8:30. Business inventories and housing market index at 9 a.m. Central. Then we've got the beige book tomorrow at 1 p.m. Whenever I see that beige book on the calendar, I know it is 2 weeks until the next FOMC meeting. Thursday, housing starts and permits, the usual Thursday jobless claims. Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, which today today we did see the Empire State Manufacturing Index come out deeply lower than expected. We'll see what happens with the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index on Thursday. We have Susan Collins speaking on Thursday, as well as the Nat Gas and Petroleum Status Reports also on Thursday. So the next 2 days, I think, are holding the more important economic information that we're going to need to be paying attention to. Dave went on tilt today. Lessons like that are fun. Yeah, they are not fun. But you remember what that feeling of getting to the point where you're on tilt is. Whatever is that signal inside of you, that signal is warning you that you're probably going to be stepping away from any strategy, any process that you have, and start reaching for straws. I know when I start to get on tilt, I have to stop. I have to walk away for a little while. I have to find something else to do. I have to let go of any venom that's inside of me, because that venom just keeps me fighting, and at some point I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to say, screw it, I don't care. I've blown out a lot of accounts, and that's usually how it starts. It's just when we start to go on tilt. So recognize that as you are putting yourself at greater risk when you're trading on tilt. Don't do it. Nastic, good afternoon. Well, some sort of a program that you've got, Dave. Sounds good. I hope it helps. Weekly kickoff, $39.99.99. I don't know what that is. Vince, Mr. Boombastic, ain't it fun, musician Shaggy? Oh, yeah. I think I know that. There's a commercial with that on there, right? With that song on there. Dave, it's my pleasure, man. This whole community that we've got here, everybody at Top Step, we're really rooting and we're really looking forward to your success. Believe you can, and you will. Okay, let's jump into the charts. So I'm going to start with the crude oil this afternoon, starting with the top left going in clockwise form. So we had a potential breakout above weekly kickoff high. That potential breakout failed. It did not close above it. We settled crude at 80.18 with the weekly kickoff high at 80.70. We did close higher in crude, $1.46, up 1.73%. But we had to bring that price back down to close there, and then we ended up the extended trading hours back above that level. Let me take a quick look here. I want to see if we have volume. Yeah, tomorrow we're going to be trading the March contract. They are just about even right now, so tomorrow morning we'll look at the March contract. I will move all my levels according to the spread between the Feb and the March contracts, and we will be looking at the March contract tomorrow. I'm kind of excited about that. If we can get to March, we've survived the teeth of winter, I think. So long time frame structure does hold, and it does finish it by the end of the day. Here's the 30-minute chart. We had a big push right off the open, pushing us above this important inflection level. It was supported by two 30-minute periods. We did find support there, but when you look at these bars, okay, when we have a breakout of this magnitude at one of these important inflection levels, I'm looking for momentum. I'm not looking for two dojis on the next two 30-minute bars. This was very cautious. This was not confident to the upside. It doesn't surprise me. And of course, looking backwards is always very easy. Did I take this trade? No, I didn't trade crude oil today. But the pullback seemed to be necessary. The market didn't bring momentum up there. We closed right about here again. 80.18 is our closing price, which is going to be right here. And then after the close, we pushed back up to that level. Sometimes there's some pretty interesting information that can happen on these early closed markets, like crude oil, like the natural gas, like gold. So even though the settlement price is below weekly kickoff high, the price did not spend much time there. We're going to have to see how this market opens tomorrow. See if there's any change in open interest as well. Here's the S&Ps. So in Make Hogue Money, this was the range from yesterday. It was very low volume. It almost as though it didn't really count. This morning we opened basically near the base of the late spike, and that tells me, we're probably going to get a chance to look at price at higher levels. We even traded down to the secondary base of the late spike, the L breakout, which was right about here. So we took along in Make Hogue Money. We did a pretty good job. I think we were long at the 40.13.5. We got out of it at 40.28. There was some speculation that maybe we could see the price go a little bit higher, but we voted on it, and the vote was to cut bait at that level. We still did a very nice job on that trade. Now we started looking to the short side. We took a short. We decided at the end of Make Hogue Money just to cut bait and call it a day. It was a pretty decent day for Make Hogue Money. We got a nice little streak going, which makes me a little nervous, but we're going to try and keep that streak going. If it doesn't, that's okay too. So the market pulls all the way back, takes out the low of the initial balance, and trades, doesn't get to the overnight low. It makes an attempt to, and then ranges the rest of the day, basically inside of the area of value. So did we accept price at higher level or didn't we? With value where it currently is, I'm looking at this as potential rejection of the highs. One of the nuances that we were looking at while we were long that contract, there were a lot of naysayers saying, no, I think it's spent, get out, was the fact that Sunday night's high, was the recent high. Whenever the market leaves a recent or all-time high or low in the overnight session, it has a tendency to be rechecked in quick time. It only took 2 sessions for us to recheck this, look above, and find possible rejection. So tomorrow, depending on where we open in range and value. That's going to kind of slow things down for me. We do have, some economic information that could change things. I'm just going to kind of look at this as, where are we? We're still struggling, but we're still holding upside structure. We're struggling holding upside structure. Take a look at these hull moving averages now. This is the hull. These are the hulls. And on the daily, this is the 9 session. This is the 13 session. They are now above price. We have the 9 session now turning under the 13 session. This is another thing that's saying that this market is slowing as far as momentum is concerned. One last thing to show you. This trend line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of contact. We looked above this. We rejected it today. We rejected above this trend line. There's no trend line that is perfectly placed, and every level that we look at is basically a zone, but we looked above this and we've now rejected. This is showing a degree of rejection above an important inflection level, being that trend line. Does anybody hear ominous music? Dun dun dun. I don't know what's going to happen. Anything can. Nasdaq, that S&P that they're showing may have been the SPX. It's probably the SPX Nasdaq. Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq, looking back at that continuation chart, nowhere near that trend line today. We got 1, 2, and an anomaly here, and not quite there. Here's the daily. Okay, similar situation, upside structure, hulls above, 9 session crossing under, indicating potentially slowing of momentum. We've been watching this. We got to see what happens with the open interest on Friday, and then tomorrow and yesterday and today. There'll be some information that we may see coming out tomorrow morning in these volume and open interest charts, open interest numbers. The Nasdaq did hold up much better today than the S&Ps. Here's the 30. Okay, you couldn't take out the low of the initial balance, which the S&Ps certainly did. Couldn't get to overnight low, finding some support here. What's the profile look like? TPO. So the Nasdaq, in essence, had a normal trading day. Normal trading day is when the initial balance, the first hour of trade, remains the high and the low. The market auctioned in both directions and then just found two-sided trade here. This is a very wide profile. This is a prominent naked point of control. It also says the market has used up a lot of its ability to facilitate trade here. What is the market's job? The market's job is to facilitate trade. It may go looking for other levels to facilitate that trade tomorrow. Gold. All right, so that kind of looks like it did this morning, right? I mean, we know we've got a little bit of a pullback here. Volume, of course, much better than it was yesterday, much lower than it was. We know we're in rollover. We're within 2 weeks of the roll. 30-minute chart. We got a nice little channel here. 2, 3, 1, 2. Is this going to end up being a bull flag? The bull flag is short ranges against the bigger picture. A breakout and acceptance above the bull flag has us with a new leg to the upside. Watch the dollar. So this market continued to rotate lower throughout the regular trading hour session today. We have a double distribution trend day. So there was a distribution of time and volume here, separated by excess and a new area of time and volume down here. Very short time frame, very short term, indicating there may be a change. There may have been a change today that Maybe the dollar rallied or something late in the day that pushed price lower. Here's the euro. Howdy, chart language. Euro, a similar situation. I mean, it's almost like we've started to create a bull flag here. Here's the 30. Boom. Last week's high, resistance. Recent high in the overnight. Couldn't get there today. What doesn't happen and what does is equally as important. We've got pretty solid horizontal resistance here. We seem to be expanding to the downside. On the TPO chart here, double distribution. Time, excess, and time. We open between these two levels tomorrow, we may just kind of fall into repair, have a hangover day. But we have to remember we do have data tomorrow, early in the session. Here's the 10-year. Again, perhaps a little bit of a bull flag. Here's the 30. Boom, 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 boom. Bull flag. How was volume today? Checking the daily again. Relatively weak. We'll take a look at our pet project here. The natural gas downside structure remains. Momentum slowing. The 30. So we got too long overnight. We attempted to continue higher, but we brought back price first thing to even inventory. Another attempt higher, bringing price back. Had to come down and recheck this naked point of control here, it seems. That happens a lot. It happens a lot. So one of the things that didn't happen today when we were talking about the S&Ps, we pointed out a little bit of an anomaly from Friday's session that still remains unchecked. An anomaly is anything in the profile that sticks out and doesn't seem to fit. Be keeping an eye out for that as a potential target if price continues to move lower. Chart language. This is a sim account. This is just an account that I use to present on the forecast and the recap. My personal account's on a completely different computer. I don't put anything on that computer other than trading stuff. We have the Make Hogue Money account that is on this, but I just use this so I don't make any mistakes and accidentally take a trade. Okay. All right. Nasdaq. I don't watch news, but today I did notice earlier today that CNBC and Bloomberg was showing us. That was it. Okay. Yep. That's right. Yeah, that's probably SPX. When you said, oh, Bostic. Oh, okay. All right. I got it, Vince. Mr. Boombastic. Got it. Thank you for clarifying that for me, Vince. I was kind of confused, like, Got it. All right. So 1950 on January 17th, the Brinks robbery happened. They stole $2 million, which is $29 million today. 1995, the Rams announced their move to St. Louis, the NFL's Rams. I found this interesting. 1997, Ireland grants a divorce for the first time in the country's history. A little bit behind the times there, right? 1916, the PGA was formed on this date. 1966, NBC greenlights The Monkees. The Monkees. Everybody's favorite as far as music is concerned. Eartha Kitt's birthday is today. She was born in 1927. A year behind my dad. Mick Taylor, who's a guitarist with John Mayall and the Blues Breakers, was part of the Stones. Played with Bob Dylan. Steve Earle's birthday is today. Happy birthday, Steve Earle. Paul Young's birthday is today. Susanna Hoffs from the Bangles. Everybody remembers Susanna Hoffs from the Bangles. John Wysocki was the drummer from Stained, if you remember Stained. Kid Rock's birthday is today. Happy birthday, Kid Rock. He was born in 1971. And that's really kind of it. The Monkees started today. The Doors, 1970, played the first of 4 shows in New York City. They were recorded for the forthcoming Absolutely Live album. Dawn Kirshner, who launched the careers of Neil Diamond, Carole King, Neil Sedaka, the Monkees, the Archies, Kansas, died today in 2011 at 76. And that's about all the fun, interesting facts I can pull off of that. Lacey is doing good. She's sitting in the front room, kind of half asleep, half looking out the window, looking for her buddy Luke, my son, who usually comes home about this time. She will be whining and crying as soon as he pulls into the driveway. Thank you, Mike. That's very nice of you to say. A true relic of the markets. I have not read that book, Elder Alexander's Trading for a Living. I've got a long list of books that I'm constantly trying to work my way through. I've got something new now that I'm trying that I do kind of like. I've got Audible, so I can listen to books and instead of read them. I've never been a very prolific reader, but I find myself listening to it and then kind of losing track, and it's almost like a meditation. Really have to get into it. Sounds like maybe my son's home. If she starts crying, that'll be him. That or it's somebody walking with a dog. Oh, somebody's here. Well, sounds like Avon's calling. So let me call this a recap. Thanks for spending a little time with me at the end of the day today. Always appreciate that. See you tomorrow morning for the forecast. We've got the late session of Make Hogue Money, and then at the end of the day, we have the session with Jared Tendler. Looking forward to seeing all of you there. I will say hello to Luke. Audible is the best. Yeah, I think it's going to really be good when I really get myself back into a rhythm of walking every day. I'm going to enjoy that. So blessings to you all. Be kind to yourselves. We work hard at this. You deserve to do something nice for yourself. Be kind to others as well. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the morning.